The public health is the main indicator of people's well-being. Based in this principle in 2010, by the financial support of the Finnish Red Cross, realization of community-based health and first aid program in Tajikistan has been launched. It is based on 3 areas of Rasht Valley and the Republican subordinated district of Faisalabad. These are the remote residential areas. Even to get them by 4-wheel vehicles is not easy. The mountainous ways are narrow and in some parts there is no road at all. In such centers of the targeted by project districts, trainings and seminars will be regularly conducted. Prepared trainers teach and at the same time prepare volunteers among youth and adults. All the volunteers are from these districts. Similar practice existing in many countries. Volunteers are from those communities where they live and work. Thus, it's easy for them to help their communities to define prior needs and resolve their own problems. To train volunteers, each center is provided with all the necessary materials, literature, visuals and mannequins. Centers are provided with the mannequins. These mannequins had a sensor which characterizes how well the artificial pulmonary ventilation is conducted, not open cardiac massage. Mannequins are simplified and transportable. They will be moved by volunteers and will be used during the trainings. Also, the project has prepared first aid kits, which will be distributed to volunteers and they conduct training with that kit. Here is Faisalabad district. As in other pilot areas, here the educational activities are being holding every day. Since 2010, 90 volunteers have been prepared. Now they are independently holding meetings with population of 3 jamaats. Separate literature will be used for each age categories. It is designed as for the adults, so for the children of the school age. This book is oriented for adult trainees. Here full information was given about prophylactics of such infectious diseases as influenza, hepatitis, typhus, and acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. And this one is oriented for the children of school age. This book will be used to tell about the threats of infectious diseases in educational establishments. All the books are published in Tajik language. The program was designed to train people without special medical qualifications. Applying gains skills in everyday and in emergency situation, they can offer primary assistances for the people, injuries and people suffering from the sudden pangs of disease until the qualified medical assistance will come. The community-based health and first aid program aimed to strengthen the community and to keep it healthy in peacetime. Therefore, realization of the program activities is being held in close collaboration with and by the support of the local executive bodies and local population. Program is under particular control. It's very informative. It was foreseen for issues of tuberculosis and prophylactics. The works introduced at the highest level. During the trainings, volunteers work out scenarios of the different cases where offering first aid is necessary. For instance, artificial ventilation, applied dressing and splints, cardiac massage, transportation of victims, definition of accidents conditions. They are learning to provide physical and psychological comfort of victims. The number of people who wish to learn is increasing every year. Local residents understand that people who can offer first aid must be in every family, in every educational establishment and labor collectives. I am a volunteer for the 3rd year. I can offer the first aid for the people in need. For instance, in the cases of displacement and fracture of collarbone, it is necessary to place fixed gauze bandage and then go to the doctor specialist. Within the framework of the community-based health and first aid program, volunteers will be taught not only to offer the first aid, but to keep the dialogue as well. So far, just dialogue defines priors and needs of community. Lectures of trainers is a distinctive forum where participants change information and experiences, set up priorities and develop resolution of the existing in community problems. The volunteers who attended the trainings are already informing population of rural areas about the health issues, skills of offering the first aid and conducting educative activities. So is in all the targeted by the program districts. Volunteers and personnel of Red Crescent are always stuck by in hotspots, epicenters of disasters and human woe, where the need to offer assistance has appeared. Rush district, after devastating earthquake which caused landslides, such assistances were essential here. Mud flow covered several houses in a few moments. I didn't get mosque and immediately returned home. Exactly in this time the landslide occurred. I could take my father and mother out of the house through the window. Volunteers which already attended trainings on community-based health and first aid program helped the local residents in disaster response. In their actions, they used those approaches with the primary medical and sanitary services have done. So volunteers were as a connecting link between the community and health system. Victims have been offered with a first aid. Volunteers have also helped children, women, old people to overcome fear and stress. At the same time, they rounded and checked all the saved houses. They taught local residents to offer first aid during all disaster situations. Also, volunteers informed about the most and commonly encountered infectious diseases. Annually, we prepare 30 volunteers in Rush district. After they attend the training, they already work with the local people independently. They teach them the skills to offer first aid, to conduct prophylactic talks, as well as make them aware about the threats of the infectious diseases. In rural parts, it is extremely necessary. Prophylactic activities will be conducted everywhere. Volunteers and participants of the community-based health and first aid program are informing population about the threats of infectious diseases, due to which annually all the world countries are suffering from the big economic losses. Regarding preventing the beginning of the epidemics, the active explanatory works are underway. It is oriented on increasing the responsibility of the citizens related to their health and the health of people around. Level of vulnerability of Tajikistan's population to most and commonly encountered infectious diseases is being reduced through conducting open lessons in educational establishments. Students will be told about the threats of infectious diseases and safety measures that must be followed up and avoid infections. Here in Tajikistan, we observe very often outbreak of the infectious diseases. The main goal of the program is raising the awareness of people about the most and commonly encountered infectious diseases. For instance, children are often ill with diarrhea, and in our trainings we teach residents how to prepare regidron in home conditions. It should be mentioned that our main partners are the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education and Center for Forming of the Healthy Lifestyle. Together with our partners, we implement the subsidiary function of the National Health Strategy. We do all to keep population healthy. During realization of the community-based health and first aid program, 360 volunteers have been prepared. All of them are successfully practicing their knowledge. Thus, the project under realization is carrying out the noble mission of saving the people. It is particularly urgent in the current time when the number of all possible natural catastrophes, cataclysms, and accidents significantly increased. Only the first aid is often allowing people to stand until the medical aid will come. It is notable that the program is able to be adapted on needs of each community or target group. Because of oriented training and preparedness will be defined due to the selection of those issues defined by the community.